Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today we are finally getting into that really big empty green space that's been an eyesore for the city for quite some time. And what I basically plan on doing is I just want to make it into a green space, but I also want to put in some kind of like big, I think a big feature center building. So it's going to be like a big mansion slash a bit of a castle, and my inspiration came from Australian Botanical Gardens. So in many capital cities in Australia, they have a botanical garden, and within that botanical garden there's actually a big old mansion castle style building. So that is where my inspiration came from. You can see this is the big type of mansion castle that I'm talking about, and I guess the story behind this, the pretend story, is that this, let's just call it palace, this palace owned all of this green space. It was really nice manicured space, and then the city just slowly built around their estate land, and eventually it just got sold to the government, and now it's just open green space for everyone to use. So it's public green space, and then the palace is just kind of like a feature tourist attraction. And I do actually zone it as a proper park, but I'm not going to make anyone have to pay to get in, because I feel like if it's just a general park, I don't think they should have to pay, because it's green space. So you want them to come into the green space, and if I had to pay just to go into a park, I wouldn't go to a park at all. So I don't blame them if there's not many people wanting to come into a park that you have to pay for. So I'm using this, what do they call this again? I always forget the word. It's like let's just call it the brick wall. It's actually the seawall, but I'm using it here to block the land a little bit and make it look a little bit more fancy. And I use this one because there's a little fence on it, and I like that aspect of it, because having a bit of a fence on it makes it more safer, I guess, and makes it look a little bit more in detail. And it's a bit of a grand entrance piece, I think, and it's just something nice to work with. And you'll notice that there's the palace is on a raised up bit of land, and that land was actually a lot higher. So right at the start of the video, I just lowered the height just a tiny little bit, because it was way too high. And if I left it that high, I think it wouldn't have worked out as well as it did overall. So yeah, so you can see the bike path is there at the bottom of the screen, and we do connect that up with a new bike path that connects to another older existing bike path. So you'll see as soon as that connects up, a lot of people are using it. And I also use there's a type of road that I use that I connect to the main road to the palace, and that road is pedestrian priority road. So it just looks like a big path, so you guys will see which one that I mean. And I don't think I did it on camera, but what I had to do is I had to ban all vehicles on it, because a lot of vehicles were actually driving through the park, and they were treating it as a main road. So I had to ban all of the vehicles from that road. And I didn't put any parking spaces in the whole area. There are some parking spaces along the main road there where the bike path goes, but I didn't put any in because I just didn't think it would really fit in with the look of the whole park, I guess. And I guess it encourages people to use more public transport, or just walk, or I don't know, just get a taxi or whatever. So I did see, this is the road that I was talking about. I changed that road to the pedestrian priority road in a minute, and then I add in a what's it called? It's like a little, what do you call that? The gate that opens up and down that allows people in. I forget what it's called, but I put that in just to make it a little bit more realistic, because I guess my inspiration for that was a bit of a back road, a bit of a back entrance. So you have the main entrance to the palace, but then we also have this back entrance here just as another option. So if there is some big function at the palace, they have the main entrance, and then they have the back entrance for like deliveries or any type of service. So it's always good to have just that little bit extra entrance as well. And that pathway that I put down is actually the road that I was mentioning earlier. So I banned all of the cars on that. There were cars going on it, but they are no longer. And I like that one because it's a little bit wider than the normal path. And I know someone's going to ask, why don't I use all of the new pathways? And the reason why I do that is because when you connect the pathways together, they create a bit of an intersection, and the color of that intersection on the pathway isn't the same as the actual pathway, and it really annoys me. It just looks really odd, and I often wonder why don't they just make the color of the pathway intersection the same color as the actual pathway. So I just always use the generic gray one because I think it just fits in well enough, and it's very consistent with its color. And so you can see here I'm putting on that new pathway slash bike pathway, bicycle pathway. I put it over the side of the boardwalk area right there just to utilize that space a little bit more, because otherwise that space won't be used at all. And so this pathway gets connected up to the existing raised up pathway right there over the road, and you'll see very soon that a lot of people use it, and I think they've been waiting for this for so long. And also that pathway that I put down now, sometimes I put it the wrong way. So some of you guys will probably mention to me, oh, you put it around the wrong way, and the lanes on the pathway are a little bit wrong. If that's the case, don't worry about it. It's not a really big deal. It doesn't really affect the people at all, but obviously in real life you'd want to make it more consistent, but I'm not really worried too much. So the bike path actually, it kind of ends there, and then it connects onto the other bike path. I could continue it on through the pathway, through the park, but as for now, I just want to finish the rest of the city before I add in any more bike paths, because I want to see where is the best option to put those bike paths. So we just have to stay tight for those, just wait a little bit longer for that, but it definitely is coming very soon. And so this area here that I'm working on is going to be left as open green space, and that's kind of going to be a bit of a, I don't know what you call it, it's just, it kind of fits in with the theme of the palace. So you'll see once we get to the end, I leave a lot of big open green spaces, and I thought they'd probably do that in real life because they want to have room for parties or festivals or whatever, so you want to have that option. And plus I also just didn't want to fill in the whole area with a lot of trees and detail because it would create a lot of lag in my city. So when I detail, it's pretty much just pathways, trees, and some fences, and some rocks, but that's pretty much it. And it does the job. And so I'm not sure what else I can say, because it really is just a park. And oh yeah, another thing that I'd put in is a market area, which you guys will see soon, and it's actually a path, which actually just has the little stalls on the side of the path. And so I'll add that into my mods and asset list, and you guys can check that out if you want. And also at the end, you'll notice there's a lot of people just hanging around. They're just kind of chilling around. So that is actually a people generator, so it attracts people to come to the area and makes it look a little bit more lively. And that's also in my mods and asset list if you want to download that and check it out. But please be aware, if you put too many of those people generators, it really causes a large influx of traffic, and it definitely does create a lot of lag in my game. My computer is very strong, so be careful about that. And we do have the train station beside the park, so I thought it's probably a good option to integrate the pathways, kind of directing the people slowly towards the train station. Just makes it more accessible, makes it more appealing. And yeah, so what else can I say? Not much else. So I'll probably finish up with the speed build, give you guys an overview of what I've worked on, because obviously it's just a park, like there's not really much else I can say. So I decided to add in this bridge pathway right here because of the proximity to the train station. So if the train station wasn't there, I might not have actually added in this elevated pathway, but since the train station is right there, it's just going to make it a little bit more accessible. So that's pretty much all I have to say for this episode. Like, there's not too much I need to explain. It's just kind of something that needed to be done in the city in order to move forward. And I do still need to fill in the green space on the other side of the downtown area, but that'll get done really quick. So thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think, and I'll be back very soon with another video. Bye for now.